Hi, this is SSR from Eternity Reigns. I'm going to tell you a bit about the looting system that Eternity Reigns uses. The system is based on modifying loot rolls with what we call karma points. You roll for an item and the karma points get added to that roll. The raid member with the highest end value will win the loot. Karma points are not currency, they are luck enhancers. Therefore, this system does not compare to DKP or EPGP. We introduced this system because of two reasons. Number one, we want to encourage people to attend raids by offering higher chances on loot when you raid frequently. And two, we want to neutralize the total randomness of loot rolls a bit, so that a string of bad rolls will eventually lead to higher chances on next rolls. We chose not to use a currency-based system because they are prone to officer ninja practices, where only a small, select group of the guild gets the top items. We want to stick to the principle of gearing the guild, and not the individual. Well, how do I get those karma points, you might wonder. Primarily, you get karma points for attending raids. First of all, you get 2 karma points for every hour that you attend an official guild raid. So if you have raided for 10 hours, you will have gotten 20 karma points to add to your loot roll. Second, you will get 1 karma point for every raid that you enter on time. At the appointed raid time, the loot master will award 1 karma point to all current members of that raid. If you join the raid later, you will not get this bonus. Last but not least, if you are part of the raid group, but will have to roll for your spot and lose, you will be awarded 2 bonus karma points. If you were on time for the raid, this would then add up to 3 karma points without even raiding. So when a boss drops loot, everybody that is entitled to that loot and wants it will roll. Karma points will be added to the roll, and the person with the highest end value will win the loot. When the person is awarded the loot, his karma points will be reset to 0, giving way to others to have a higher chance to win some loot. Again, you start accumulating karma points by attending raids. To keep some of the randomness of the system intact, we have set a cap on the karma points of 50. This means you can never earn more than 50 karma points. This cap makes sure that nobody in the roll is excluded from a chance of winning a particular item, because there is always a possibility that you will roll higher than the person that has reached the karma point cap, even when you have 0 karma points at that moment. You can also lose karma points another way. The guildmaster has the option of penalizing persons for bad behavior by subtracting karma points from their current total. Alts are linked to the main character of a person and share the same pool of karma points. This means that the karma points gained with an alt or a main will be used when rolling with another character of the same person. The next question, of course, is, how do I know how much karma points I have? By nature, we're lazy people. We don't want to do all this administration, so I found me an add-on that does most of the work. It's called Quick DKP. Unlike its name suggests, we do not use its DKP functionality. We just tweak the add-on for our purpose and use the parts of it that we need. 1 person in each guild raid has to be running the add-on. Most of the time, this will be the loot master. The accumulated and awarded karma points of each raid member will be updated to the officer's note of each character in the guild interface. So when you open your guild interface and click on your character, you will be able to see the officer's note with the karma information. The first number you see is the net karma points. This represents the number of karma points that you currently have and will be used for loot roll modification for your character. The total figure gives you the amount of karma points that you have accumulated in all your time participating raids. The last figure specifies the number of hours that you have participated in raids and that have contributed towards your total number of karma points. Alts do not have this information in their officer's notes. It specifies the name of the main character instead. Check the numbers in the officer's note of the main character for the karma points shared by all of your characters. You could also download the add-on and use the roster option to get some overall information about who has what amount of karma points. You would, however, not be able to modify any point information. That is restricted to a limited number of people holding specific ranks in the guild. Now that I know how to get karma points, I want to use them, would be a logical response. As mentioned before, karma points are used during loot rolls. The loot distribution using karma points will play out as follows. When an item is up for rolling, the loot master will use the so-called bid manager interface of the quick DKP add-on. By shift-clicking an item, the loot master selects the item to be rolled for and starts the process by clicking a button. A raid warning with the item will be sent to the raid, signaling the rolling to start. Rolls done before this moment are invalid and will be ignored. Now, everybody in the raid group who is eligible for the item and needs it may roll for it. In this process, there is no separate roll round for main spec and an off spec. They both take place at the same time. You can place your roll in two ways. Number one, you do a /roll followed by typing a main spec or off spec keyword in raid chat, depending on what you're rolling for. It is important to do the /roll before the main spec or off spec keyword. The add-on will detect your input and that of the other raid members and incorporate the results in the bid manager interface. As you will notice, the interface shows all the original rolls, character information, current karma point amount, and the resulting value of the roll when the karma points have been added to the roll. Off-spec rolls get 101 subtracted from it, so that you only win an item for an off-spec if nobody rolls on the item for a main spec. It is important to note that rolls for off-spec items do not get karma points added to them, nor does your karma point total get reset after winning such an item. The second way of placing your roll is just to type main spec or off spec keyword in raid chat, without the /roll before it. The add-on will detect the keyword, notice that no roll is attached to it, and do a /roll itself. This will save you the effort of doing a /roll, but you will know your unmodified roll only at the moment the roll results are published to the raid chat by the loot master. When an item is rolled for that has no bearing on main or off spec, like for example a ruined orb, do not specify main spec or off spec, but just use a regular /roll. This will not modify the roll, so the chances for all raid members are equal. After everybody has cast their roll, the loot master will publicize the roll results and modified roll results to the raid through the add-on interface. The information in raid chat will show all rolls and end values, which are the rolls with the karma points added to them for each raid member. The person with the highest value and has item priority wins the item. Item priority in Eternity's Reign means that tank have priority on tank items, plate wearers have priority on plate items, etc. etc. Only when there is no raid member with item priority, a person with a non-item priority will win the item. So, if a feral druid has the highest value on a cloth roll, he will only get the item if there are no other raid members rolling with cloth item priority. The loot master will then declare the winner of the roll, thereby officially finishing the roll phase for that item. The winner's karma points will be reset to 0 only when he was rolling for a main spec item. The winner is announced in raid chat and the person gets awarded the item. If all this typing is a bit much for you, you could consider creating a main spec roll and an off spec roll macro. Such a macro would consist of a /roll followed by a /raid space off spec or main spec, depending on what your macro you are creating. This would reduce the rolling part for you to choosing between 2 mouse clicks or 2 key presses that would activate the chosen macro. I hope that was enough to get you started on Eternity's Reign looting system. See you in raid.